7 items stone, GameStop has been having vintage Yu-Gi-Oh products popping up in their stores lately. Story time. This past week I was just going to GameStop to get some Yu-Gi-Oh blister packs to rip, get a little bonanza maybe. And to my surprise, I see 2 booster boxes of Crossroads of Chaos sitting in a glass display right in the front of the store. We're talking about a set from 2008, 16 years ago and counting. And then I go to the back of the store and see another display case that has 2 sealed special edition full displays of Crimson Crisis that date back to 2009. I was shocked. Felt like a time warp, and I just started recording everything. Because these are significantly old Yu-Gi-Oh products. I asked the guy working there, how long have you had these on display? He's like, I just stacked these up there this morning. I told him how crazy it was to see these because of how old they were. I even pointed out the difference in logos on the plastic seal for the older box compared to a modern box, showing how the older plastic seal had the Konami flag logo compared to its more modern, simplified text logo. Even he was surprised on how something so old was starting to pop up. Sealed full displays of Crimson Crisis are not easy to come by on the secondary market. You could find Crossroads of Chaos a bit easier, but both are still really old classic Yu-Gi-Oh 5D sets with highly coveted Ghost Rares and Ultimate Rares inside of them. Both sets are all the way back from the Upper Deck era of Yu-Gi-Oh, when Upper Deck used to be in control of the manufacturing and distribution of Yu-Gi-Oh TCG, before the infamous Upper Deck vs. Konami lawsuit that led to Konami gaining full control of the game in April of 2009. So these are not new releases, and are genuine Yu-Gi-Oh vintage products. And I know vintage is technically 20 years or more, but honestly, we're almost there with this stuff. It's so old. So whatever. Even if these sets weren't the hottest back in the day, people's appreciation and nostalgia eventually caught up, because Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds. It's awesome. But again, I'm thinking, why are these here? And not just here, multiple locations. I went to 5 different GameStops within like a 25-mile radius, counting the original one where I first found all this stuff. And I confirmed that 2 of the 5 GameStops that I went to had at least 2 booster boxes of Crossroads of Chaos. I couldn't really confirm the 3rd location 100%. But the guy working there said that he saw a box similar to the ones that I was talking about. So, he said he saw a box with a rose on it. So I'm going to count that as Crossroads of Chaos. So probably 3 GameStops had Crossroads of Chaos and that Crimson Crisis thing. And he said that he was also seeing old vintage Magic products in addition to older Yu-Gi-Oh products. So what is going on? At all 3 stores, I asked the employees as many questions as possible. And this is what I got. GameStop has been closing down locations heavily since the 2020 pandemic era. The shutdowns and oddities from that time, combined with gaming's continuous adaptation from physical to digital, has hit GameStop's bottom line pretty hard, causing a massive exodus of GameStop locations worldwide. At the time of this video, GameStop has almost closed all of its locations in Europe. And when they close stores, they close distribution centers and warehouses also. In fact, both workers at the first GameStop where I found those old boxes had stated that there were 2 entire GameStop warehouse distribution centers that had closed down recently. And this is where they had received this product from. Now, he could have met the ones that closed down, sent it to the ones that are still open, and they got it. So whatever, either way, this is what he said. More importantly, one of the workers made it a point to say that no matter what it is, it all comes from GameStop's distribution centers that get their inventory strictly from official distributors and no third parties. No bedroom vendors, no off-the-street resellers, none of that. And that is not counting their graded card services where they offer the services to go send it off for grading for you, or buying and selling the graded cards, which they don't even sell them there. They sell them online, but they do buy them. But they are not buying sealed product from guys off the street, let's be clear. Days after my own discovery of these vintage products, a Reddit post popped up on our Yu-Gi-Oh, with someone saying they saw the same sets popping up in their local GameStop. They even included a photo showing that there was 2 Crossroads of Chaos boxes and 4 whole booster boxes this time of Crimson Crisis, not first edition. Now, it's hard to trace how far back GameStop has been carrying TCG products. In the comments of the Reddit post, you can see people claiming that they remember GameStop hosting Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments and other TCG tournaments back in the day around 2008 and 2009, which is actually right around the exact time of these sets' release, and right around the same time as the lawsuit where everything went crazy for manufacturing and distribution. So it's possible that this last bit of leftover stock for these two sets have been sitting lost, essentially, at all these GameStop warehouse distribution centers that have been closing down. And it's almost like they've been there since the licensing and distribution went into purgatory for a bit for the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. Personally, I gave up Yu-Gi-Oh! And gaming entirely when I was younger, pretty early on, and I have almost never visited a GameStop from 2004 to 2019. But what I've seen from 2019 to present time is that GameStop has always carried Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG retail products and never booster boxes. Konami Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a super strict policy with distributors, and there is a difference between what types of products go where, so it seemed like GameStop only had a retail exclusive agreement for the types of Yu-Gi-Oh! Products that they would carry. So when I was going to GameStop in 2019 and reigniting my love for YGO, I would be buying, of course, retail blister packs, you know, the plastic old school. Specialty products called box and tin sets, like boxes of dual power, great set. The Mega Tins, of course, 2019 Gold Sark Tins. Dual Devastator boxes, and if we're talking more current, it's the retail Retro Pack 1 reprint boxes, Bonanza Tuck boxes, Legendary Collection 25th boxes, Speed Duel boxes, Structure Decks, and a couple of others, but again, never would you see a full booster box just sitting at GameStop, let alone multiples of different sets. Going back to the third location, which apparently also happened to be a GameStop TCG hub location, the employee there said that in addition to warehouse closures sending old inventory out, it may have to do with GameStop officially obtaining their hobby license in late 2024, which in the last few months is what allowed them to obtain and sell full booster boxes and more hobby products that they're receiving from their new and or existing distributors. So it looks like GameStop might have been holding on to these old booster boxes and sealed displays at their distribution centers without having the proper hobby licensing to sell them at stores for many years, until they decided to do the hard pivot into TCGs, sports cards, and collectibles, and are now going all out, condensing storefronts and warehouse distribution centers while finding old stock like vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic and putting it out for sale in the remaining physical GameStop locations. It could also be that the GameStop distribution centers received those products recently from new or existing distributors now that they have their hobby licensing, taking in old product that they found. It could also be that the GameStop distribution centers received these older sets recently from new and or existing distributors they're working with, and those distributors that were sitting on the product can now send GameStop booster boxes, and these Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds products and a few older Magic boxes happen to be in the bunch. Either way, GameStop or one of their approved distributors has been holding on to some really old Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG products. And to double down on why these old Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D sets are so special now is that Crossroads of Chaos is a set that not only features the ultimate rare, but the illustrious Ghost Rare Black Rose Dragon card. Highly valued amongst collectors, it's the ace monster of Akiza, whatever her last name is, a very popular character from the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's anime. Wonder why. Also, Crossroads of Chaos was one of the 4 sets where English edition booster boxes only came in unlimited for North America, but you could get first edition North American packs from the 2008 Wave 2 Black Rose Dragon and Turbo Warrior collector tins, which means the only way to get first ed Black Rose Dragon was through the tin packs. First edition booster boxes of Crossroads of Chaos were exclusive to Europe, so in the booster boxes you can only get unlimited Ghost Rare, Black Rose Dragon, or Ultimate Rare, which is still holding a pretty high price for an unlimited card. Crimson Crisis, originally released March 2009, has Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, Ghost Rare and Ultimate, and Black Wing Armor Master Ultimate. All cards, including from Crossroads, are iconic Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's cardos, obviously favoring Black Rose Dragon Ghost Rare. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds is one of the strongest series in the franchise. Ghost Rares by Upper Deck really pop differently than the ones you see today. Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans of this era love this stuff. But these 5Ds products being unlimited can also play a part in why these were turned into overstock and deemed undesirables at the time of their original release. Again, considering the meta at the time and influencing factors like that. Anyways, what do you think about all this? How do you think these vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! Products from over 15 years ago wound up in GameStops in modern times? How about yourself? Have you seen these in your local GameStop? Have you seen any other like vintage TCG product popping up lately? Are we going to see any more vintage sets, or is it just Crossroads of Chaos and Crimson Crisis just popping up everywhere? And also, is it going to affect the value on the secondary market? Could it have an effect with all this stock just flooding the market? Like, what's going on? How about GameStop? Do you like them pivoting into the TCG realm altogether? Like, do you think it hurts or helps the hobby or whatever, you know? Does it hurt local game shops? Is it just... or is it good for everyone? Just building and building more community or whatever, you know? Please let me know your thoughts, criticisms, or corrections in the comments. If you enjoyed watching or listening, please subscribe and like the video, just so you can come back in case you need to reference this or rewatch it again. This is 7 Item Stone bonus, where I talk about the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. Please check out my main channel, 7 Item Stone, for Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime related content and more. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.